December 12, 2025. The war in Ukraine is no longer just a distant conflict for Russians, it's now a domestic crisis. For nearly 4 years, we've seen Ukrainian cities devastated, but now the consequences are echoing back into Russia itself. Ukrainian strikes are reaching deep into Russian territory, exposing vulnerabilities the Kremlin tried to hide. The war is draining resources from Russia's vast regions, leaving them neglected and unstable. Moscow's demands for loyalty and resources have never been matched by support, and now the social contract is breaking. In places like the North Caucasus, especially Chechnya, the Kremlin's grip is slipping as local grievances resurface. The obsession with Ukraine has created a power vacuum at home, with infrastructure crumbling and young men sent to fight a war that brings only hardship. The myth of a strong, unified Russia is being shattered by daily realities, failing services, growing dissent, and now, direct attacks. Ukrainian drones are striking symbolic targets, delivering psychological blows to Putin's image of strength. The war's instability is no longer just a Russian problem, it's a global one. Ukrainian drone attacks on Chechnya mark a turning point. The war has reached the Caucasus, once thought pacified by Putin. Drones struck near Gudermes, targeting Kadyrov's security forces, sending a clear message: no region supporting the war is safe. These attacks reveal the shocking weakness of Russia's air defenses outside Moscow. The Kremlin has pulled its best assets to protect the capital, leaving the rest of the country exposed. For Chechens, the explosions are a chilling reminder of past wars and broken promises of peace. Kadyrov's image as an invincible enforcer is crumbling. He can't protect his own stronghold. The war he championed has come home, shattering the illusion of stability. This vulnerability undermines both Kadyrov and Putin, raising questions about their alliance. Chechens now see that loyalty to Moscow brings only danger. The strikes expose the regime's soft underbelly, inspiring new whispers of dissent. The dragon is wounded and its enemies nowhere to strike. The balance of power in the region is shifting. Putin's control over Chechnya rests on a fragile personal bargain with the Kadyrov family. After 2 brutal wars, Moscow traded money and autonomy for loyalty, letting Kadyrov rule Chechnya as his own fiefdom. In exchange for crushing resistance, Kadyrov received near total freedom in federal funds, operating outside Russian law. This arrangement kept the peace, but created a semi-independent state within Russia, loyal to Putin, not the system. The entire structure depends on the personal relationship between Putin and Kadyrov, making it dangerously brittle. Now the war in Ukraine is straining this pact. Kadyrov sent his fighters to Ukraine to prove loyalty, but the recent strikes show Moscow can't keep Chechnya safe. Kadyrov faces a dilemma: support a war that now harms his own people, or risk losing Moscow's backing. The promise of peace and prosperity is broken. The pact that once stabilized Chechnya is unraveling. If Putin's authority weakens, the deal could collapse overnight. The war has exposed the limits of Moscow's power. Chechnya's future is more uncertain than ever. Beneath Kadyrov's rule, Chechen resistance never died, it just went underground. The trauma of past wars and the dream of independence still burn, especially among the diaspora. The war in Ukraine has reignited these hopes, with Chechen volunteers fighting alongside Ukrainians against Russian imperialism. Their fight challenges Kadyrov's claim to represent all Chechens and exposes divisions within the republic. Inside Chechnya, discontent simmers. Families resent losing sons to a war for the empire that destroyed their homeland. Economic decline adds to the anger as Moscow's money dries up and living standards fall. The social contract is fraying from both external attacks and internal decay. Ukrainian strikes on Chechen soil shatter the illusion of safety, reviving old fears and exposing the regime's weakness. For the older generation, it's a return to the horrors of war. For the young, it's proof that Kadyrov's power is not absolute. The alliance with Putin is now seen as a liability. Open rebellion remains unlikely, but the psychological ground is shifting. Whispers of independence are growing louder. The regime's grip is loosening as new grievances fuel old wounds. The war has made Chechnya's future more volatile. The seeds of resistance are being sown anew. Chechnya's crisis is just one example of a wider collapse across Russia's regions. For years, Moscow has hoarded wealth and power, treating the rest of Russia as resource colonies. Infrastructure is crumbling, towns freeze in winter, roads are impassable, hospitals and schools are underfunded. The war in Ukraine has accelerated this decay, diverting all resources to the military. Regional governors are left with shrinking budgets and impossible demands. As living conditions worsen, resentment grows. People feel abandoned by their own government. Taxes flow to Moscow, sons to the front, while local communities fall apart. This isn't about politics, it's about survival. The Kremlin can silence opposition, but not the reality of empty shelves and freezing homes. The war meant to show Russian strength is exposing its deep fragility. The heartland is crumbling, and the consequences are spreading. Moscow is a fortress, protected by state-of-the-art air defenses, while the rest of Russia is left exposed. The Kremlin's priority is clear: protect the capital and the elite, even if it means leaving the provinces vulnerable. As Ukrainian strikes hit deep inside Russia, the military has pulled defenses from the regions to shield Moscow. This leaves cities, industries, and military sites across Russia open to attack. The result is a nation divided, a privileged, protected Moscow, and a neglected, endangered heartland. Ordinary Russians see their communities burning while the capital remains untouched. This breeds resentment and a sense of betrayal. The fortress mentality is both a military and political strategy, maintaining the illusion of stability for those who matter most to Putin. State media projects calm from Moscow, but the reality outside the capital is chaos. The regime gambles with the nation's security to protect its own power. As attacks continue, anger grows among those left outside the fortress walls. The divide between Moscow and the rest of Russia has never been starker. The suffering in Russia's regions is a direct result of a system that centralizes power and resources in Moscow. The war in Ukraine and the decay at home are two sides of the same coin. Money for war comes at the expense of basic needs: roads, heat, and food. Supporting Ukraine isn't just about defending a sovereign nation, it's about challenging the imperial system that threatens global stability. A Ukrainian victory weakens the Kremlin, exposes its corruption, and empowers those suffering under its rule. The world must provide Ukraine with the aid it needs. Every drone shot down, every tank stopped, is a blow to imperial ambitions. If Russia succeeds, it will only embolden further aggression. Stopping Putin in Ukraine is essential to preventing wider conflict. Independent journalism is vital, shining a light on the realities inside Russia, and Ukraine challenges the Kremlin's propaganda. By telling these stories, we reveal how Putin's war is destroying both Ukraine and his own country. The truth is our most powerful weapon. The world cannot look away. The stakes are global, and the time to act is now.